There's literally nothing that could feasibly save you if the trees decide to revolt. Welcome to the UK Kernel Podcast, UK's most trustworthy but least reliable source for news. I'm the cat, and this is my co-host, Snarly Bedbadger. Snarly?
Are we still doing these stupid code names?
It's in the contract, Snarly. Do you want to go back to the unheated sewer grate?
No, not the grate. The mold has grown sentient and developed a taste for human flesh. Also, the Wi-Fi is really spotty.
Then say the line, you amateur.
Let's get right to the news.
In national news, the great satire comedy gladiator battles, the Emmys for short, have been put on an indefinite hiatus after John Oliver skewered Seth Meyers both with his wit and with his actual skewer. The gruesome display marks a turning point in this year's gladiatorial season, which started with a mild jab from Samantha Bee about being the only relevant late-night female comedian.
It quickly spiraled into a bloodbath, with Kimmel and Fallon fighting to the death for the title of Best Late Night Jimmy. It all came to a head during the playoffs when Stephen Colbert showed a disheartening lack of sportsmanship when he literally pulled out Trevor Noah's beating heart.
Thankfully, the other Daily Show correspondents were too busy making fun of people from small towns to participate in the slaughter.
We can only hope that the ceasefire will allow the comedians time to recover before they are needed for the next round of presidential scandals.
And now it's time for our latest segment. We saw a movie and are going to tell you about it. Take it away, Jimathan.
Today we're here to talk about the DreamWorks production Shrek. Released in the early 1600s, Shrek was crafted by arcane fairy magic high in the Mongolian steppes. The cinema masterpiece would not only invent the art medium of film, but also the human emotion of love. Here to discuss the issue is our senior Shrek expert.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Relax, Mr. Shrek. We're just here to talk about your latest movie, Shrek 5, slated to come out in late 2019 and change the world of film forever. You're coming back after a 7-year hiatus. Is there a part of you that is afraid that the friendly but generic cast of quirky off-color characters will have lost its spark? Mr. Shrek?
This is the part where you run away.
Oh, I see. This is one of those complicated layers I have to crack to access your sweet, lovable interior things.
No, this is one of those drop it and leave me alone things.
So I had this plan for a piece, and... Well, that went really well. Cut to that now, please, now. No!
Coming to CBS this fall, the last reality show you'll ever need to watch. 10 C-list celebrities, 1 house, 1 million cameras.
Hey, I'd appreciate it if in the future you would leave a note when you take my car out all day without asking.
Forced to live together for 1 whole month.
Well, I wouldn't have left so late if you had turned down the music. Some of us like to sleep before 3 a.m.
No competitions, no prizes. Just the sweet, petty squabbling you crave.
Hey, do you mind if I use the TV for the PS4?
Yeah, no problem. I'll just finish watching the game on my tiny phone screen sitting on the toilet.
Are you sure you're okay with it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it sounds like you're not okay with it.
No, it's fine. You use the TV all the time, and I just wanted it for a few hours, 1 day a week, but, apparently that's just too much to ask, so.
CBS presents Passive-Aggressive Roommates. Coming soon.
And could you stop using my Scrozy? I have it fitted for my scrotum, and when other people use it, it really throws off the proportions.
Wow, sounds like a fun and entertaining show.
Speaking of, we've got a great celebrity gossip piece coming up. Let's hand it off to our resident paparazzo/meteorologist, Anita Greenscreen.
Thanks, the cat. I'm here now with the happy couple.
Sources confirm that Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma are in a relationship, known by their celebrity couple name, Irma.
We're on the ground now with a Category 5 couple. How'd you guys meet?
We met at a coral reef we were both destroying, and she just blew me away. What I love about her is that she and caused billions of dollars in property damage. That's what I look for in a story.
That's great. Irma, what made you think he's the one? He has this beautiful low-pressure eye that just pulled me in. I felt fans overflow for him. Truly, a romance capable of crossing the gulf of emptiness between us all. But I think we all want to know, what does hurricane sex look like?
It's a lot like human sex, actually. Love, intimacy, gale force winds of up to 130 miles per hour.
But, of course, Harvey always comes first.
In local news, the crosswalk button on the corner of Transcript and South Limestone has rebelled against its natural function, protecting pedestrians from crossing the treacherous limestone while there are cars.
That's right. The original message broadcast from this button was, "Walk sign is on, across South Limestone." on repeat. The button seems to be moving away from this traditional message and embracing the alternative side of safety, however.
Our sources report that the button is pursuing a career in music production, the cat. The brave, inanimate walk signal indicator had its debut in the Deep House game, but we hear its latest mixtape will be more along the lines of electro swing. Exciting. Do we have a sample from its most recent release?
We sure do, Snarly. Wow, that really hits my buttons.
Is that a phrase?
Yes. We also have a clip of the Walk Sign Button's second most popular single as well.
And now, another glorious advertisement from our corporate overlords.
Coming to CBS this fall, the last reality show you'll ever need to watch. 10 C-list celebrities, 1 house, 1 million cameras.
Hey, I'd appreciate it if in the future you would leave a note when you take my car out all day without asking.
Forced to live together for 1 whole month.
Well, I wouldn't have left so late if you had turned down the music. Some of us like to sleep before 3 a.m.
We're measuring their anxiety and fear responses to being trapped in a house for a whole month, pointlessly living lives without goals or contribution to society. Each episode of Incontinence is a loss of 3 points, a breakdown loses you 10 points, the driving of another contestant to insanity is worth 50 points. Also, there's a basketball hoop where you can score 1 point at a time during activity hour.
Is this IRB approved?
That's 100 points from you, Alan Degenerate.
Because I don't think that you're allowed...
And Alan Degenerate is out. Get out of here. Go home. See your kids.
But you didn't give me a bus pass or anything. How am I supposed to get back to civilization?
We'll find out on Social Experiment, coming to CBS this October.
And we're back. In some concerning campus news, many students from the College of Fine Arts tuba program report that they may have contracted actual copper poisoning, street name brass poisoning, from putting their mouth on one of the nastier tubas stored in the Fine Arts building. We have afflicted freshman tubaman here in the studio for comment. Tube, great to have you here. Sorry about your organs. Tell us what happened.
Well, we all know that tubas are dangerous. I mean, we wash our hands before and after playing them in a largely unsuccessful attempt to rid them of that dark green tarnished gunk from both the body of the instrument and the valves themselves. Then we just don't touch our mouths, or any sort of orifice the rest of the day.
And that works?
I mean, kind of. Something really needs to be done about them, but we manage.
So then, how did you get copper poisoning?
I had a hair in my mouth.
A hair? I'm not following.
I had a hair in my mouth that I couldn't spit out. It was lying on my tongue like so much of a snake in the grass that I had to reach in and pull it out, but I forgot.
You forgot? About what?
About my nasty, unhygienic, tarnished gunk fingers. I felt it sliding down my throat, man. I felt the small grainy chunks wriggling, almost like they were alive.
Mr. Tubeman, that's all very illustrative. What sort of symptoms can we expect from our tube players if this problem continues?
Well, I've been throwing up a lot. Like, a lot. Blazer pizza, mostly. But also little inanimate trumpet mouthpieces that crawl up my throat and sprint off into the dark corners of my dorm, where they buzz softly and menacingly at night. Also some fatigue.
Wow, somebody get him out of here. That sounds awful. And I think that one of those little mouthpieces is hanging out under the soundboard. If we could get an intern in here to handle that.
Our hearts go out to Tubaman in his time of suffering, which is good because professionals say he may need a transplant.
Here's to hoping you have a common blood type, Tube.
And now, another word from our generous sponsors.
Coming to CBS this fall, the last reality show you'll ever need to watch. 10 C-list celebrities, 1 house, 1 million cameras.
Hey, I'd appreciate it if in the future you would leave a note when you take my car out all day without asking.
Forced to live together for 1 whole month.
Well, I wouldn't have left so late if you had turned down the music. Some of us like to sleep before 3 a.m.
With the constant threat of demise by the secret blender.
Hey, could someone pick up some milk from the store? We ran out this morning. Wait, what?
What's happening? Craig? Alan?
May I borrow your laptop charger? I lost my...
Secret blender. Coming to CBS this October.
And it looks like we're just in time for Horoscoops with Madame Vladimir Putimir.
The part of the show where Madame Vladimir Putimir comes out with her big shovel and scoops up some...
No, not that. The other thing.
My bad. That's for the next segment. The part of the show where Madame V comes out and uses the mystery of the stars to predict the future.
Welcome back, your clairvoyance.
May the stars look favorably upon you, Snarly. Let us begin. Aquarius. The stars say that this week would be optimal for any sort of illicit or otherwise inadvisable activities you may have been planning. Libra. Get ready for an unexpected trip when your shirt gets caught on a shuttle, launching you into low Earth orbit. Capricorn.
Capricorn.
The stars predict that tomorrow you will get out of bed, do something, and then go back to sleep. Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Meet behind the abandoned storage unit lot on 5th and Newton Pike. Code word, infest the masses. Response, with what pinchers? Leo. I like you, Leo. I think you have potential. Unfortunately, so do the secret enemies you've been trying so hard to avoid. Better luck next time, Leo. Virgo.
Virgo.
The stars say that you're a smart and attractive person, but we both know they're lying. Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Bring the stuff. None of that weak shit either. The best you got. We have the money this time, we swear. Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Now would not be a good time to quit your pole dancing career. That money's gonna come in handy when you learn about your unplanned pregnancy.
Ha ha ha. Thanks for tuning in, folks.
For more news, horoscopes, and other sword nonsense, visit our website at theukcolonel.org or follow us on Twitter at UKCOLONEL.
The previous segment consisted of satirical content. All references to reality were fictionalized, and all personages were fictional, except for public figures whose likenesses were used fictitiously. The opinions expressed in this podcast in no way reflect those of the University of Kentucky, the Kentucky Colonel with a K, the Quintucky Colonel with a Q, the Kentucky KRNL with no vowels for some reason, the E with no consonants for another reason, or you, Aquarius.
Get out of here, stupid chair. Stupid chair!